is what we're doing now. We're just gonna make stuff up. We're just gonna be off the cuff. It's just gonna be wild. And this is crazy because y'all are Cowboys fans, from what I understand. And what's even wilder is y'all gave it like the hard pause. Like y'all gave it like the, oh man, he about to say something profound. Like he's gonna drop the mic. He's gonna give us the knowledge of the Cowboys' first round draft selection history.
Send this to a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Is it true? Is it true? Is it true that the Cowboys have the best fans? Yes, sir.
I trip out on it. Because I'm swimming in it. I wear this jersey every first game. It's my favorite jersey.
Drop some bars to my pussy.
Came from El Paso.
Go Cowboys!
What's up, Cowboy fans? Welcome to the Cowboy Up podcast. Let me introduce the crew tonight. From the capital city, Austin, Texas, is my man. Allow me to butt in sports. Rue, what's up, Rue?
And I'm good, man. It's another day.
And if you don't know him, you should know him. I believe from the great state of Arkansas?
Kansas.
It was close. The great state of Kansas. Our man Mike, Cowboy Corner. What's up, baby? Thanks for joining us tonight, man. Armando had to work late, and also Mikey had to work late. So you know how it is. You got to pay those bills first, right?
You
got to pay the
right.
bills first. Got to pay the bills.
I just did an hour show with our Tuesday show, the Frisco Report. So I literally just got done with that show 3 minutes ago. Came right in here to help you guys and support you guys. So
hey,
I appreciate it, man. Thank
you. We'll appreciate it, man. We always look forward to hearing your thoughts and everything like that, man. So shoot, let's jump right into it, man. The Cowboys got a running back. Did y'all know that? Cowboys signed a running back.
Sure did. Sure did.
The Cowboys have a running back, guys. His name is Rico Dowdle. Rico is basically your starting running back right now. And I guess we would say that Deuce would be our second string running back, correct? So
you got Malik Davis there too.
Well, Malik, yeah.
And they might work in oh wow, now I'm blanking out on his name. Our fullback.
Lumpke.
Limpke, yeah. Hunter Limpke.
Hunter Limpke. Yeah, I always thought on goal line situations they would put Hunter, in like a single back or, a I formation power I situation. And, because didn't he do something similar like that was it North Dakota, where he went to school, that he was, that goal line power back. The Cowboys never experimented with that. Only thing you remember him being on the goal line is him fumbling. Was that against the Eagles? The Dolphins game. Yeah. And you never saw him in the backfield again on goal line situations, right? So, Corner, we'll start with you, man. What you think about the Cowboys re-signing Rico basically to be our lead back?
It checks the box for your veteran. That's what it does. Mm-hmm. And it allows you to still go get Trey Benson. It still allows you to go get Jalen Wright out of Tennessee. Those are your third round sweet spots there. So, this is all it does. You're going to have competition with Dowdle. You're going to have competition with Malik Davis. Deuce Vaughn, it should be cut today. I don't even know why he's on the team.
I still don't know why you hate Deuce Vaughn so much.
I don't hate him. He's not going to contribute. It's a waste.
You don't like the size.
Yeah. It takes talent to do what they did with Darren's Sproles. And Daryl's best was 700 yards. Deuce Vaughn will get 700 yards in his entire career. Period.
the entire career. I mean, you just already wrote that. You booked that in ink, huh? His entire
Oh yeah,
career, bro.
yeah. He'll be recruiting with his daddy on the scouts team in 2 years. Mm-hmm.
Jesus, wow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it Deuce a different way, man. I just thought they used him wrong. You know, I thought they didn't have a scheme for him at all. That was just my opinion on him. And then once they didn't have a scheme for him, they were like, "Well, we'll just deactivate him." And I was thinking, "Why won't you just play the kid on special teams, kickoff return, punt return?" You know, he did that at Kansas State.
In college,
He did it in college,
not
yes.
in the NFL.
Yeah, but he did it at a very high level in college, though. He was a great runner. He led that conference in rushing, if I'm not mistaken. Like Deuce Vaughn was a dog in college. Like I agree with you. Honestly, I honestly do. Like if I really look at it and see what he's producing in the NFL, I honestly agree with you. I don't know if he has the size or the mustard to do what guys his size have done in the past. He needs to get his weight up. I really like Deuce Vaughn. I am really cheering for Deuce Vaughn. I get your whole point about the roster spot, but I like him. That's just really what it is, man. I like him. I know what he did in college. I know what he was in college. I've seen him play live. Like I know what he is, but he need to pick his weight up. He need to pick his weight up, and they need to use him correctly because Chris is right. They didn't really use him. Just like honestly, they didn't use Rico. Rico was a hard runner for this team. When Rico got opportunities, like when Rico got his ankle bothered him towards the end of the year, he got hurt, so he wasn't playing in some games. But they honestly didn't give him a ton of situations, and I don't know how many times I'd see him in situations where he'd get hit in the backfield and still get positive yards out of the play. That goes without, that he should get credit for that in terms of what he's actually able to accomplish with the minimal opportunities that he got, because they were minimal. He didn't get a ton of touches, and we weren't running the ball a lot.
He got 500 yards. Dowdle did.
I think he averaged like just under 4 yards a carry.
Yeah.
Like he didn't do terribly. He was a strong runner. And the thing is, man, about this position, guys can make a shift. Like guys can change up quick in this spot. It's a quick spot to kind of get a boost in, get a real good season in, but our problems stand deeper than that. You have a whole new O-line that you're gonna kind of have to put up together and hope that it works. Because I mean, just based on what we talked about last week with this O-line, there's a lot of questions. Like we're hoping that it's gonna be good, and we've seen glimpses from previous tape, but is it gonna be, what it needs to be? Because last I checked, offensive line looked very different when Tyron wasn't in the lineup.
Man. So who? Okay, so which one is going to be the starting running back then? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
The rookie they draft.
The rookie. Okay.
Yeah.
So who's
the rookie they draft?
So Mike, who do you think is going to be that person? I mean, me and Tuck kind of talked about Quorum. Just because I'm a Michigan guy, I was just like, man, he's there. A workhorse like that, man, who carried the ball at Michigan sometimes up to 35 times a game. Wouldn't you want somebody that can run inside and outside? Because, at the end of Zeke's tender here for the Cowboys, kept trying to run him inside, outside, right? And he just wasn't hitting the hole like he used to. We was missing that burst. So Corner, who is your ideal back in the draft that the Cowboys should be looking at to bring in?
Yeah, Trey Benson out of Florida State, 6 foot, 216, a 4.39 40, or you can look at Allen out of Wisconsin at 6'1", 235. He ran a 4.4 with that size. That Wisconsin running back is pretty nice. So those would be my two ideas, and those two guys are that third, fourth round selection type of guys where the Cowboys should be drafting their running back.
Okay, so I've seen the Wisconsin runners. Only body I want from Wisconsin is offensive lineman. they O-line you to me, bro. I'm just going back. I'm trying to think of Wisconsin running backs. Of course, Ron Dane. What was the kid for the Chargers for the Wild? Is it Gordon?
Mel Gordon.
Yeah, Gordon didn't pan out. I don't know, man. Ruru, who you think?
When it comes down to the running back, man, I like the idea of going in that third round. Like you mentioned, Trey Benson out of Florida State. That kid's a hard runner, and he could definitely be the starter for this organization, I think. But I'm honestly surprised that Jonathan Brooks is rated as high as he is. And the only reason I say that is not because Jonathan Brooks is not a hell of a runner, dynamic guy. Our offense looked totally different when he wasn't in the field, but he got hurt just last year, season-ending injury, and he's still the top-ranked guy. So I was thinking Jonathan Brooks, third, fourth round. I felt like it was a bargain for a guy of his caliber, a guy of his talent, is a bargain. But it's looking like he's going to go second. So I don't know if I'd go that high for him. But I'm just surprised that he's still number one. That really threw me. That out of everybody else, because every poll I look at, he's number one. There is no one else. And I mean, we produce running backs out of Texas like clockwork. It is what it is. The running backs come out of Texas. But I would love Jonathan Brooks. If he fell and we can get him at the right spot, I would love to have Jonathan Brooks on this roster. I think it'd be an amazing ad. But both of the guys you mentioned, I've heard their names a lot, and I don't see why the hell not. I am kind of with Chris on the Wisconsin guy though, because with that kind of O-line, you should be way up higher on this list, because he's not like jumping off the page or anything like that for me. But
Mike, what did you say he ran in the 40? The Wisconsin 4.4. A 4.4, huh? So he got the breakaway speed. He got breakaway speed.
Dude, he's 235, 6'1", dude. You count me in. That's my type of running back right there. And the reason why he's not on a lot of people's board, he is a young kid. He is 20 years old. Okay. It's that Tyron Smith age coming into the National Football League. But the size, the speed, it's all there. Wisconsin, those Badgers isn't very, developmental in running back. It's more offensive line, like you said, big fella. But if you look at his stats, 2021, 1,268 yards, 2022, 1,242 yards, 2023 had a slight different year. With only 181 carries, he had 984 yards. He's been averaging 6.8 his first year, 5.4 his last 2 years. He's a touchdown machine. He's had double-digit touchdowns in Wisconsin. So, yes, he has the line, and he has the talent. This right here could be your unsung hero out of Wisconsin.
So okay. So say if we go in that direction, okay. What round is he? I mean, is he
third round?
He's a third round back. Okay. Yeah, because I don't know, because I know I was really thinking the other day. I said, will the Cowboy, is there a running back in the draft this year that's even good enough to be that late first round? And I mean, everybody's saying no. Everybody's saying no. But
why,
okay, go ahead.
Here's why. You have so much depth at guard. You have so much depth at offensive tackle. You have so much depth at running back. These quarterbacks are starting to step up. You don't have a lot of linebackers. You don't have a lot of running backs. So those two positions, you're going to hear there's not a lot of value there. Why? Because there's not a lot of depth there and a lot of talent. There just isn't in this draft. So when the O-line and the receivers and these quarterbacks are starting to step up, those even get smaller. So the running backs and linebackers, the biggest need for the Cowboys, the weakest spot in the draft this year.
Yeah. Well, last year we didn't think 2 running backs was going to go in the first. We just thought that my man from Texas, oh God, what is it?
Bijan Robinson.
Bijan. We thought Bijan was the only running back that was going to go in the first round, and then it ended up the Lions went and took Jameer. And I was like, man, everybody had Jameer in the second round, and some even had him in the third round, but he jumped up. Is it because, do you think some organizations, man, Arua, this question is to you. You think some organizations don't get antsy and pull the trigger too quick on people, or because the Cowboys hadn't been in that situation where you think, damn, they pulled it. Well, I thought they did last year with Mozzie, and I'm a Michigan guy, but do we need to be patient? That's the question. Do we need to be patient at that pick?
For the last few years, I expect what's not to be expected out of this team, because I didn't see Tyler Smith coming out of Tulsa, the season before that. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see Mozzie Smith coming. I was hoping that we drafted that position, but this year for me, man, it's about necessity, and he's right. We got to start with the trenches up front this year, because we've lost Tyron Smith, and we've got questions in terms of what we're going to do at the depth, and we need the depth on the O-line. So I think that's what they're probably going to go back to that honey hole. And by all evidence that we've seen in the past, they pick good O-linemen. Yes. They might not get that D tackle spot right all the time, but damn it, they pick linemen very well. They've got a track record of picking good linemen and producing a hell of a career out of them, because all those guys are very talented players. There's a lot of Hall of Famers on that list. I mean, Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, probably didn't play long enough, but Travis Frederick, for me, love that guy. Right. I mean, it's
God,
just
I loved him.
And it was a gauntlet, and they've done well since then. But I hate that we have so many needs, because I feel like something could have been done. Just because there was players at positions that we could have gotten, and we could have done what we needed to do it. But by all accounts, I think Chris Corner nailed it last week. This is an all-in season in terms of, hey, we're all in with what we got. It's time for y'all to put up or shut up. No. It's time for y'all to show what's good, because this team has had a lot of high expectations, and this is one of those years where I feel like if this draft don't hit, you're looking at a 500 football team here, maybe 10 wins, 8, 9, 10 wins.
I want to bring that up too. I want both of y'all opinion on this, man. I literally had a drawn out argument with a Steeler fan saying that the Cowboys are going to go 5-12 this season. And I was like, I said, did Dak Prescott get hurt? He was like, no. I said, how can you even utter that out of your words? 12-5 team 3 years in a row is going to go 5 and go flipping and go 5-12. And the first thing he said was, y'all schedule is too tough. I said, why? Because we play the AFC East. Is that why? Because we play the Steelers, because we play the Ravens, because we play Cincinnati, because we play Cleveland. I said, well, we beat Cincinnati with Joe Burrow. I said, last time we played Pittsburgh, we beat y'all. I said, so why do you think that? And he was just like, because the Cowboys don't have any heart. And I said, okay, bro, you just hating now. I said, you just don't like the Cowboys. Just don't say that. So professionals. I mean, you just a hating guy. I mean, so is it a possibility in your mind, Corner, that the Cowboys could be a 5-12 season even with all these holes right now? This is before the draft and before those June 1st cuts. Corner, what do you think, man, about the Cowboys? What is a realistic record for the Cowboys this coming season?
That's a good question. 10-7.
Okay.
10-7. I could see 10-7. And right now they're 10-7.
Yeah, right now. That's what I'm saying.
Right now
yeah.
they're 10-7.
Well, what we got on the team right now, yes.
Because I trust Bass. I trust Brock Hoffman. You know, Rico Dowdle. We didn't have a running game last year, but we've seen what Mike McCarthy's willing to do with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, right? So that single-handedly is going to win you games. Al Harris staying on this team helps Mike Zimmer because that's going to help people buy in to Mike Zimmer, right? Because Dan Quinn was the players guy. Zimmer's going to be the other guy. Greg Ellis being here is going to help Mike Zimmer, right? So they're going to. This is a full circle thing. So replacing Dan Quinn, I think Cowboys 10 out of 10 replacing Dan Quinn with Mike Zimmer. You got it. So if you look at the downfall here, with what we've lost and what we've gained, I see us still being a double-digit team win right now, just for what we get. They have to hit in the draft.
Right.
And they have to stay healthy in training camp. But this could be a 10, 11, 12 win team all over again.
Okay. Rue, what's your realistic, record that you got right now? No draft, no nothing. For the team we got right now, what is your realistic record, bro?
I'm hovering around that 500 number. I feel like this could be a 9-8 franchise or 9-8 team this year. We have a first place schedule. It's not just about the divisions that we play. It's about who we got to play too. Houston is much improved. They're not Houston of 2 years ago. There's too many question marks at too many key positions. And we already had problems last year with those key positions for me to think that we've lost 6 starters for this team.
Yeah.
6 starters for this team are gone. There's a lot of balls in the air when it comes to the holes on this roster. And we're hoping that a lot of these younger cats get in, step up, and show out. But it doesn't change the fact that we got question marks. And even after the draft, you don't know what you have until you have it on the field.
Yeah.
We don't know. I don't care what you really do in preseason. It's nice to see guys pop. But how many times you seen that pop and then it's just flat after that?
The Cowboys.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. So I had a question. I think last year's draft, a lot of the cats didn't get on the field. So would you still consider them rookies, kind of like Awesome Richards, Overshown being hurt, them getting on the field this year, because we all had high hopes at linebacker for Overshown,
Yeah.
I mean, I know I was salivating. I was like, man, I can't wait to see this kid on the field. So Mike, do you consider that like an extra draft pick this year because he didn't play? And our struggles at linebacker. I see we got Kendricks and everything like that, but we still need that pop player. You remember the year that Leighton LVE was a rookie, and we were like him and Smith. We were just like, oh my God, we got our duo for 10 years, right?
Right.
And it happened 1 year. So I'm asking you, do you think Overshown will be healthy this year and will give us that pop that we need at that linebacker position?
Big fella, I want to be optimistic here, but I can't. When I look at ACL injuries and I look at the Dallas Cowboys, we're an F, period. We're an F in that category. Michael Gallup, Terrence Steele, Jabril the Steel Cox. I'm nervous for Trayvon Diggs to come back from ACL.
Wow. Okay.
Because he has a star on his helmet. You look at the training staff facility, they have a D- on their report card. You look at the ACL recoveries, and they're not very good with the star on their helmet under a McCarthy leadership. So when I look at Overshown, who had bursts of talent in the preseason,
yeah,
I can't say it's an extra draft pick. I think it's to be an extra liability because he's going to sit out OTA. He's going to sit out minicamp. He might be cleared to play at training camp, which I'm sure he will. He has a long road to return. And what I've seen from Gallup, what I've seen from Steele, Jabril, it ain't looking pretty with Overshown coming back from an ACL injury, especially knowing now that they got a D- in that training facility. That's ridiculous. So I don't look at Overshown as a plus. I look at Overshown as a potential liability. He's going to be put in a position, and he ain't going to be able to deliver.
I'm coming to you, Rue, but I want you to answer this, Mike. So, Mike, what do you think about Awesome Richards, man? You know, because hey, we're looking for a tackle too, and didn't we draft him last year to play tackle? Did we not?
Yep, he was a 5th round pick. Awesome Richards.
Yeah.
It's sad because he didn't beat out Walesko. He didn't beat out Ball. He did, and Ball's sucks. Walesko's always hurt. So it's like, why didn't Awesome Richards get that chance? Did he need a red shirt year? That is more promising to me than Overshown right now. Did Awesome Richards need a red shirt year? Let's see how he does. See how he does.
Rue, what you think about Overshown, man? Now this is news to me. I didn't know that the Cowboys medical staff was rated as a D. That really sucks. I mean, for an organization to be like this, as popular and as rich as they are, that should never be an issue in the medical field. But like I said, I'm such a fan of Overshown, and you know I'm not a Texas fan, but I just, man, that kid had that to me, he had it. So what are you hopeful for this year with Overshown?
I'm hoping that he's everything that I thought he would be coming into the year. That scavenger on the field, that run stopping linebacker. I'm hoping that I can't get past the fact that we're rated at a D at probably one of the most crucial positions that you need as an organization.
Training staff is a D plus.
That is absolutely abysmal. And the fact is, man, this team makes more money than everyone. We should be an A in every category. Like, that doesn't even make sense. You have the money, and
the facilities.
And if you're gonna skimp out on some stuff, fine. But that's not what you skimp out on. That's the last thing that you skimp out on. And when I hear you list that name of names of ACL injuries that have come back, that does worry me. I can't deny that. But an ACL should worry anyone. Not everybody is Adrian Peterson. It's a freak of nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't come back from an ACL the same guy. I'm worried about Trayvon too. And really, though, it comes down to, did they do what they were supposed to do? Because training staff and everything else, they make money too. So if you can't rely on them, or you don't trust them, you have to do it on your own. Now, obviously, Overshown is a rookie, so pay scale is a little different. But ultimately, man, they have to do for them. And I'm hoping that he's put in the work and done what he needs to do in order to be that hometown kid that this team needs, and to be that linebacker that we need him to be. But I don't think there's any chance that we're not going to be drafting one this season just based on that information. Now, does he count as a fresh and up-and-coming new rookie? No, because to me, at the end of the day, injured or not injured, you're still a professional. These guys got to get their weight up. They got to get going and get moving, because this league is called the Not for Long League for a reason. Right. You know, just because you were picked in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 7th, whatever round, doesn't mean that you're going to be on the bench, on the starting lineup, or your ass at home. You can end up in any one of those spots. So for me, it's like they just have to put in the work. But what I expect from Overshown is, man, I just hope that I get what he was in college, transferred into the pros, and he becomes that player that I was really hoping that he would be for this team, because he is a land shark when he's on the field. Agent Zero, baby. There is no question.
Oh, man. You know, I was looking for some good news there. And
I didn't want to burst your bubble, man.
Dude, hey, but reality is reality. It is what it is. I mean, sometimes the truth hurts, right? So just to learn that about our training staff, man, I can't believe we're talking about our training staff, but you know, we have to, when we got people with ACLs and everything like that needs to come off there, man. You need them to be helped, you know? So my God, man, that's ridiculous. All right, man, let's move on. Hey, we lost another player. Was it today or yesterday we lost
Jonathan Hankins?
Hankins.
That was today.
I really thought the Cowboys was gonna bring it. Yeah, you didn't know that? Hey, to Seattle, bro. We lost to Seattle. Yes. We lost another one.
Are you serious?
It just seemed like the dominoes keep falling, man. It's just like, okay, I really thought the Cowboys was gonna bring him back. So we see Rue is shocked right now, Mike. So we'll give him a second to think about it.
Wow.
Were you thinking that we were going to lose him, Mike? I thought we were going to bring him back. I really did. I thought he had a good number that the Cowboys could re-sign him. So what do you think about that loss, brother?
So when you say he was at a good number, the Cowboys were actually wowed. Okay, this is coming from a top source at Tyron Smith's deal. They were wowed. So you're going to pay him $6.5 million guaranteed with incentives. Cowboys were wowed on that number, and the Cowboys thought that Jonathan Hankins' Seahawks number, I don't know what it is yet, but my source is telling me that they weren't even close to that number. So they were probably close to a vet minimum. But here's my thing with Jonathan Hankins. It's almost like with number 4. You can do good for me in the regular season, but Aaron Jones put a whooping on us in that playoff game, and Jonathan Hankins was a big part of that defense in that playoff game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm okay with getting younger. I'm okay with Jonathan Hankins going to the Seahawks. I'm okay with that because there's a point in time where you got to get younger, stronger, faster, and we've been trying to plug that defensive tackle for a long time. Quentin Bohanna, Chauncey Goldston, Jonathan Hankins, now Mozzie Smith, right? So we have to get that position fixed. Jonathan Hankins being gone, I don't bat an eye.
Really? Okay. Rue, since you heard the breaking news that Cowboy Corner gave you.
So okay, so this hurts only because Jonathan Hankins was the anchor in the middle of this defense for the first half of the season. For the first half of the season, he was the anchor, and he got hurt. Once he got hurt, we saw that Osa needs that big body next to him. Osa needs the support. What were we going to say? Oh, never mind. But Osa needs the support because when Osa had the anchor next to him in terms of what Hankins provided, Osa was producing. Osa was leading the league in some stats that are basically in that interior defensive category. So I'm upset, but I understand why the Cowboys were going to pay him what they were going to pay him. Because it's like, bro, by the end of the season, I'm going to have to replace you.
Right.
You're not going to be here all year. You know what I'm saying? And this is the same attitude that we had towards Tyron before last season. Hankins has been in this league for a long time. So we, at this point, it's on Mozzie. It's on these younger guys that we have that we've drafted that it's like, hey, it's time to show up and show out. I mean, Mozzie, especially just because he's got that first round tag on it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we go interior D line again this year in the draft. I wouldn't be surprised to see it. And you can get those in the later rounds. They might even do it in the earlier rounds. We don't know. But my suspicion is that if it does come, it will come late just because these moves, I feel like a lot of them are directly related to Dan Quinn. Mm-hmm. I mean, think about it. He even went to the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, it just fits the scenario. It fits the narrative. And some of these guys, it's like they're gone. I'm not really like Dante Fowler was going to leave. We knew that. We knew Dante Fowler was going to leave. We knew that he was going to. We knew that Dan was going to come after guys on this roster that he brought up. So we knew that was going to happen. But when it comes to Hankins, it's like, man, I love what he produced, but I don't see it going for another year. It didn't go a whole year last year. Why would I think it's going to go a whole year this year? I don't feel like our draft capital is enough to fill these holes because the more we dig through it, the more holes we discover. Yeah. But we have drafted players that are in those spots that it's like, man, it's time to go. I'm just hoping that Mozzie puts the weight back on, just because I guess Dan made him lose 30 pounds going into last season, got him a little smaller, and now it makes more sense why he was kind of getting shoved around. I'm thinking his technique, but he lost 30 pounds. He lost some strength.
When I met Mozzie, I know me and Sneaky went to the Sports Con last year in Dallas, and when I met him, I was like, I'm bigger than him. And I was just like, you're kind of tiny to play a one technique in the NFL, you know. But I was like, okay, I know Mozzie was super strong, you know, at Michigan, but he was that anchor at Michigan, man. He was he was the big guy, you know. You basically didn't run up the middle when he was at Michigan. You didn't run. So once I was convinced, you know, okay, all right, I see the direction that the Cowboys are going. They're trying to free up their linebackers to flow and make tackles. That's why they drafted Mozzie. But then why would you make him lose all the damn weight to become basically the same size as damn near D-Law, almost weighed more than he did? And I was like, that make no sense. Now, Osa was already he was slim to beginning. You know, he was slim at UCLA, but he made plays. You know, technique is technique. You know, everybody's not Aaron Donald, you know.
No.
So why would you let a big anchor, one technique guy lose 30 pounds? Remember, Big Vince Wolford, you wanted that 400-pound guy in the middle where you couldn't run up the middle. And with the Cowboys, never, ever, ever had that. And then you go draft a defensive tackle and you make him lose weight. I mean, the two, I played center, okay? The two nose guards I hated is the ones that weighed me and the ones were 100 pounds less than me, okay? If we were same size, same height, I got you. But if I got a stump in front of me, have you ever tried to move a fire hydrant? It ain't going nowhere.
Hell no.
Hey, you seen people run into the fire hydrants and the poles in the parking lot? They ain't going nowhere. So Mike, when is the last time we had that fire hydrant in the middle? Would we dare say Russell, Maryland? Is that the last time?
It possibly could be. I mean, I look at guys like Jay Ratliff. You know,
I love me some Jay.
Oh God,
Anthony Spencer. You know,
yeah,
Jason Hatcher. We've had some. It's just we haven't had some since then. You know, we got guys like Tyron Crawford and Hayden and Charles Tapper and these guys. It's Malik Collins.
It's never
Terrell McLean.
It's never the fire hydrant though. You know, it's never that one person where I was like, man, he ain't going nowhere. Try to run in the middle if you want, you know. So now we're gonna rely that on Mozzie. So do you have any information, any sources, Mike, that did he gain weight back?
I haven't heard. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't ask about Mozzie. I don't. He's kind of like on the back burner right with Deuce Vaughn right now with me until he can prove
his name was Leroy Glover. His name was Leroy Glover. The fire hydrant was Leroy Glover.
Hi, Mikey. How are you, Mikey?
This dynamic, like this tripod dynamic it bothers the shit out of me. It really did. I was running every red light to get to this show, to save this show, to save it, because shit, you guys, shit. And then you got Michael. I don't know. And you know what? You guys are cheating on Mozzie a little too much. A little too much.
No, we just only thing I know. I said it didn't make no sense that they made him lose weight. How's that shitting on him? That's shitting on the coaching staff, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you think?
You're
Yeah.
not even really shitting on Mozzie. What are you even talking about?
I don't know. I just came in here. I came here Ultimate Warrior. How's everybody?
We're fine. We're trying to figure out how you.
Dude, I've been trying to get on this show. There was a shutdown, and then like it was bits and pieces. So, but this dynamic, it bothers me.
Well, can you explain what you mean by this dynamic? What do you mean?
You got Michael Corner, you got Rue, and then you, and then I've been battling all three of you like Pokemon, and then this show. So yeah, next question, please.
You still haven't explained
haven't
it
really
though.
said
We're kind of lost. We're kind of lost what you're upset about. That's what we're trying to figure out.
Let's proceed. I did a. I'm out of your element, Donnie.
Okay.
Okay.
we just trying. Hey man, we just wanted some clarification, man. So because hey, when you say this show, we were just like, hey, you're a part of this show, so we're just trying to figure out what was the problem. But you want to move on, we'll move on. Okay. All right. So all right. So moving on. Okay. The Cowboys. I think Jerry had a few more things to say about his all-in situation. He said that his all-in is not what our all-in is. So what does that mean to you, Mike? Corner. What does that mean to you when he said that? It doesn't mean our all-in, because you know how we felt about all-in. We just thought all-in meant we're gonna make some moves so we can improve the team. But he said his all-in didn't mean that. So what does it mean? Or is it just our typical Jerry speak?
I don't know if I said this on this show last week. Was I here last week? I can't. I do too many damn shows. But I remember saying that Cowboy fans were very vulnerable. It was one of the most embarrassing playoff losses in Cowboys history, right? The fan base was burning jerseys, boycotting this, boycotting. So Jerry had to come out and say something. And he said, we're going all in. We're building for the future. I've been doing this for 10 years now. I laughed at that. I knew he meant nothing by it. Zeros, not a zilch, not a grain of salt got put in my backpack, and I didn't carry anything with that. All right. So other people latched onto that, made TikTok videos, made YouTube videos, and soaked the mind of Cowboy Nation as if something was going to happen. So when nothing came,
that Kool-Aid.
So exactly. So when nothing came, it was like, oh my God, dumpster fire! Everybody run! No, it wasn't. This is typical Cowboy off season. I don't know how else to explain it. The all-in comments came because Cowboy fans were at their lowest point at that time.
Okay. Rue. So Jerry said, hey, his all-in don't mean what our all-in means. So what does it mean?
It means exactly what he said it meant. Exactly what he said. It's all in, and our all in. Our all in is you're going to do everything you can to fill the holes on this team and do something about this roster. Like 31 other teams did on the first day of free agency.
Well, that's funny. He didn't say none of that.
What?
The funny thing is we assumed that, but he didn't say none of that.
That he was all in?
Mikey.
All right.
Mike.
Either
you
way,
gotta clarify.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
I just need to get home.
That's what's up.
All right.
And then I don't know if this is true or not, but it was brought up in the chat. Over the last 10 years, top 3 teams that have spent the most in free agency improved their record on an average of 2 games. Last 3 teams lose an average of 1.5 or more games, which I take with a grain of salt, just because it's just in the chat. So I don't know if it's legit. I don't know where it came from.
Those numbers are so squared. There's more that goes into that, but no, that's
skewed.
I did see that report from a legit source from Twitter.
But when you're looking at it as a whole, like take for example the Jets. What's the Jets' biggest problem right now? They need an O-line. They needed a receiver. What have they done? And they still have all their draft picks. They rebuilt that O-line. They went and got a bunch of veterans for that O-line. And then they went out and signed Mike Williams today.
Yeah.
So now you've got an improved O-line for Aaron Rodgers, plus Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, God willing he stays healthy, and Breece Hall. With that top 5 defense. What does that do to the Jets right now? Makes them look pretty good in the AFC East. Not to mention they still have the draft in order to make some moves and even add more depth to what they have. The Cowboys, I understand, do not have any cap space. But they could have made cap space. And it didn't necessarily have to start with Dak Prescott. It could have started with other people. It could have started with Trayvon. It could have done with DeMarcus Lawrence again. There's multiple players on this roster outside of Dak Prescott that you could have freed up $20-30 million worth of cap room on. But you did nothing. My only thing is, when he said what he said, Cowboy Corner is absolutely right. Should have took it for what it was. He's all in on Dak Prescott carrying the weight on his back and doing what he can with what he has. You got to do what you can with what you have. You're a $60 million guy. Go show me now. Go do it. That's what it is now. That's his all in. I'm all in on you. Here's your $60 million. Go get it done. This is what you got to work with.
So why won't he just say, "Hey, man, our all in is we didn't pay Dak"? I mean, won't he just say that?
Cowboys fans in a frenzy. We make money. We make money.
With him coming out being blunt, it doesn't make headlines.
The more money he makes. The more we get talked about, the more times we're on ESPN, the more times they're talking about the fact that we ain't doing nothing, the more money he makes. He's a genius. We just think he's retarded.
No, we retarded. We retarded.
You know what makes me mad though? Like I knew that the Cowboys weren't going to do anything free agency.
And you bit a little bit of the cheesecake. You bit a little bit of it.
I knew they weren't going to do anything for free agency, but you're at a rodeo press conference talking about the history of the Dallas Cowboys on the day of free agency. If that don't spit in the face of many Cowboys, that I know you weren't going to do nothing, but to sit there and make it obvious you're not going to do anything, that's just a spit in the face to all of us Cowboy fans. It really is.
I didn't know he was at the rodeo.
He was in Vegas. He was in Vegas. But that reiterates everything I was saying last week, that you might think it's Jerry, but this is Steven. It's all Steven. Jerry is the face, but this is Steven as hell. This is Steven to a T. And y'all could like shake your head and say it's not, but it's Steven like a motherfucker.
I'll tell you this. If it is Steven, he's one of the worst negotiators in the NFL. He's one of the worst.
But he's one of the best draft. He drafts great.
No.
He doesn't draft great. He doesn't draft great. He doesn't draft great.
You really think that's him? You think that's him in the scouting department making?
No, well, that's Will. We know it's Will. But yeah. Steven is a part of that. Steven is a part of that.
Steven is the same guy who traded Amari Cooper for a 5th round pick. Steven, if everything that you say is true,
you got to understand with Amari was a passive-aggressive little shit. Amari Cooper was a passive-aggressive little shit, undermining the fucking starting quarterback, calling him the Black Kirk Cousins. Forget about that bullshit. And he got traded from John Gruden to the Dallas Cowboys. Couldn't wait to get the fuck out. And now they got Jerry Jeudy to replace him as the number 1. So you know what? You could say everything and love Amari Cooper as much as you want. He has a reputation, and you know that shit.
He don't even talk.
All right. you want fine. We'll forget about the ancient history. Let's talk about some recent history. Like just last season, when this team desperately needed a linebacker, when we were clamoring for a wide receiver, what they do? You remember what they did?
They listened to that defense coordinator. They listened to.
Yeah, all right. Are you gonna let me talk, or you just want to do it? Because what they did was gave up a 4th round pick for Trey Lance. They added a 3rd quarterback to this team.
Smart.
Not to mention, when you're looking at it now, my buddy brought this up to me today. Bro, you realize Justin Fields went for a 6th? You're telling me right now, if you really wanted to add depth to your quarterback room, which we didn't need to fucking
That
do.
says a lot about Justin Fields, more than it does about Trey Lance. It says more about Justin Fields. The whole league, No, it wasn't just a Cowboy thing, because the whole league recited and let that shit ride, and they all said Justin Fields is a backup. Period.
And what's Trey Lance?
The whole league.
And what's Trey Lance? What the hell is Trey Lance?
The future of the Dallas Cowboys.
They wanted more for him. They wanted more for their 1st round pick that they took as a top 5 guy. They wanted more for him. And it makes sense that they wanted more for him, but it goes back to the fact that these dudes can't negotiate for shit.
Who's your savior? Corner, who's your savior? Who's your savior, corner? What's his name? What number does he wear? What number is it? Is it Justin Fields? Who's your savior?
I don't have a savior.
Your quarterback savior, God, Lee.
I don't have a quarterback savior.
You've been freaking beating that Trey Lance drum since he's been on the roster. Don't give me that shit.
Show me one video.
You did that shit on the other podcast.
Straight up, just go.
I got 775 videos on Cowboys.
That other podcast we do not mention.
I don't know what that is.
All right. Okay. Let's bring it back in. Okay. So
the bottom line is, man, they have not negotiated well, and it's shown in the trades that they've done and the lack thereof.
What are you talking about? The trades that they've done have been fucking awesome. The Cooks trade was awesome. It was, but it was not. Cooks did not produce. Cooks was not a part of our last offense. You didn't enjoy what he did, especially
last year.
What are you talking about? Oh shit! Oh dude, are you serious? Or Gilmore? Because that's a trade too.
600.
So you're sitting on those. You're sitting on those 2 trades.
57 yards.
Oh, dude, you ungrateful ass Cowboy fans. You're the reason I can't stand Cowboy fans. Straight up,
bro. And you're the reason that this doesn't make any freaking sense. What you're saying? The man caught 656 yards on the season. Dak threw for over 4,500.
And that made what? So what? His contribution didn't make the number 1 receiver more open. So we're gonna act like football isn't played by 11 players?
There's so much credit to this guy for 657 yards. You're acting like he just made like this hilarious.
So what? His impact in stretching the field didn't do nothing? Did you play football?
Dude, that's cute. I don't remember.
Did you play football? Did you play football? Did you lace up the cleats and play football? Thank you.
Are you retarded? I lived in Texas my entire life. You don't think I played football? Like, are you retarded? Honestly, like I think you just came on just to talk some shit today. You just running your fucking mouth today.
Oh, dude. So what? You're gonna perk up and pop your chest? Chill the hell down.
I'm saying it like it is. Tell me how I'm wrong.
We're talking football. We're talking trades, right? And no, we're talking trades. And you said the trades that they done were good trades, but they were good trades. They were. Those were the trades that we hang our hat on going into the season.
They were decent. They weren't good. Brandon Cooks didn't wake up till after we got our ass kicked by San Francisco. The whole offense.
Everybody did. Everybody did beat. I was gonna call you beats. Everybody did corner. All of them recalibrated after that.
The first 2 weeks, because Trayvon Diggs was there, they were picking on Stephon Gilmore. They were picking on him. So I wouldn't say
the first 2 weeks. Are you serious? The first 2 weeks. So when we both New York teams.
I wouldn't say Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks was the trade of all trades. No, not at all.
But it was better than what they do in free agency. It was something. It was something out of our front office. Don't act like you weren't happy about it. Now you're melancholy about it because the end result or the shit that they took in the first fucking round. I get that, but don't fucking act like you weren't.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. I was happy that we did something. But I'm not going to sit here and say that was the best trade in Cowboys history. I'm not Cam fam.
Of course. And we will never get a trade that's equal or better. Never with the Dallas motherfucking Cowboys. Just like Chris said last week.
We gotta be realistic on how we're going to grade a trade, right? If you're going to talk sports, sometimes you have to be realistic.
The Cowboys will never get a trade. It's not Charles Haley anymore. You will never get a team that dumb to give us something like that. Ever. Andre 3000. Ever.
We gave up 5th and 6th round picks. That's what we gave up. You're acting like we gave this 3rd round pick and we went to an
exactly
NFC.
Right. Exactly. We gave the great value picks.
Didn't change nothing of what.
What do you mean? Trayvon Diggs went down. We hung our hat on Stephon Gilmore. What are you talking about?
Byron Jones breaking 5 interceptions for pick 6. That's what we hung our hat on. That's
dude.
Exactly
they went that way because Gilmore did his job. What are you talking about?
We have to be realistic when we're grading these trades. This Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks, as much as you want it to be the greatest trade next to Charles Haley.
No, it was. I didn't say that. I was defending. No, I was defending the trades because you were acting like those trades weren't shit, which is bullshit.
I did not. I said
when you the guy up there with that shit orange said that shit.
Completely shitting on the trade. Number one, Mr. Mute Man. What I'm doing here is I am being realistic that this wasn't it didn't take care of everything we needed to take care of. Brew just brought up linebacker. It didn't take care of our linebackers.
I banged the drum for linebacker all year. There's all those podcasts where I did.
And we
right now we're talking about these trades, right?
And we traded for a quarterback.
Which I think was
smart. And I bitched about the quarterback trade. I did bitch about the quarterback trade.
For a guy that we're never gonna see hit the field.
Well, I wouldn't say that confidently.
Whoa.
I wouldn't say that confidently. But go ahead, big fella.
I'm sitting back and I'm trying to take it all in. I'm trying to figure out Mikey's point and I'm just in a disagreement. I don't think the Cowboys trade well at all. I don't personally. That's my personal opinion. I think the Trey Lance trade, what Rue is trying to say to you, you really won't let him finish, that we were needing other things other than a quarterback, and we gave up a pick for a quarterback that may not see the field. That's basically what he's saying. From the day Overshown got hurt, we were thinking, hey man, this guy is available. This guy is available to trade for, and the Cowboys never did that. Okay, so it just seemed like the trades they do make are silly trades. Okay, and I consider the Trey Lance trade last year was silly. I just didn't understand it at all. And now this year, who needs that pick better than any franchise ever?
Shit, we do.
The Cowboys. The Cowboys need that pick, bro, because all the people that we let walk this year, okay, we let them walk, and it was for good reasons, okay. Some we agree with, some we don't. I mean, but we just got to be smarter. Only thing we're asking as Cowboy fans is that the Cowboy organization be better, be smarter. We see other organizations willing and dealing to make their teams better, and the Cowboys aren't doing it. That's all I'm saying. You can refute it if you want. That's just my opinion about the situation. I don't think we're smart the trade. Now, and get back to what you said about Justin Fields and the league is speaking loudly. No, what happened is Chicago shit the bed when they should have traded him before everybody else got signed. That's what happened, because if he would have got traded first before Atlanta got their player, before Pittsburgh got their player, he would have went first. They could have got a number 2. They could have got a number 3. They just got scrap heat because he had nowhere else to go. They had nowhere else to send him. But that's another story. That's just my opinion too. So
But at the same time, we did bitch about that Lance trade. Like that Lance trade, yes. Fucking couldn't understand it. We hated it. I get that. But the other two, that's bullshit.
The only one I'll give you is Stephon, because I was happy with Stephon. But Brandon Cooks, Mr. 1,000 yards a season, not this year. Not in an offense that was throwing.
How much touchdowns did he have? Did he have 8 touchdowns? He had 8?
He had 8 touchdowns.
That's adequate, wouldn't you think?
Single digits in less than 700 yards. You got a winner there, Mikey.
Yeah.
So we were banking on dudes
in
like
a
Jalen Tolbert and shit.
Offense.
We were banking on dudes like Jalen Tolbert and shit. That's better.
I can admit that I was wrong. You're the one who can't.
Oh, you're banking on Michael Gallup to come back healthy.
None of us were banking on that. None of us were.
You might not, but the Cowboys were.
You were hoping.
Yeah, because I know I was on. Even when they signed Michael Gallup after he got hurt, I was like, oh man, he's gonna come back great, because his past performances with the Cowboys, and it was a mistake. It was a mistake that the Cowboys did by giving him all that money. Okay, because Michael was just not the same afterwards. He wasn't. And I was thinking, hey, it's gonna be a full year after he recovered from that ACL, and basically he disappeared all the way up until the playoff game. And we were like, where the hell Michael Gallup been? Where has he been?
They were banking on Turpin because they put him in on a lot of more offensive plays. They were banking on a lot of stuff. And Jalen Tolbert, he's right there with Deuce Vaughn. He shouldn't be on this team this year. He shouldn't. Jalen Tolbert should be bagging groceries somewhere next year, this offseason.
But I was kind of impressed with him this year. I actually was. To me, the reason why, because I had so low expectations from his rookie year, and they actually put him on the field. Okay, so you saw glimpses, but you got to think about it.
Key moments too.
Yeah,
they were just moments. But
but you got to think about it. CD demanded all the attention because Dak was throwing. He was looking for CD, and he was looking for his tight ends. And then I think Cooks fell in there when he had that good game. Was it the Rams game? Cook had the great game. I can't remember. But hey, I think Tolbert. He's gonna have to get on the field this year. He's gonna have to.
You better hope he don't.
you better hope he don't. Would you say he's at Walmart, huh? He needs to be at Walmart.
You better be at Walmart. Hi, welcome to Walmart door greeter.
Yeah, because and believe me, I gave Rue all the blues about Jalen Tolbert.
280 yards impressed you, big fella?
What you got to think about? He was the 4th receiver.
Yeah, he wasn't on the field a whole lot. It was about the thing is, those catches that he had last season, they came in key moments. They came on 3rd down. They came in situations where they needed to convert. And that's when he was getting his shot for whatever reason. And it was probably because they were just unnoticed or what have you. But he still got to come down and do something with the ball, which he did in some key moments last season. He did not get a lot of opportunities. I'm curious, if you have the stat in front of you, what's the attempts? What's the catches? Because I guarantee you,
receptions, 36 targets.
That's not a ton, man. In a 17-game season.
Check this out, though. Green Bay, 2 targets, 0 catches. Buffalo, 0 targets, 0 catches, obviously.
Okay.
Miami, 2 catches, 51 yards. Detroit, 1 catch, 9 yards. I remember that. It was off on the sideline. Washington, two receptions, 3 targets, 8 yards. Like, I mean, the reason why he didn't get the opportunity is because Turpin was just a little bit better. Brandon Cooks was that much more better. Look at Michael Gallup had 280 yards in the first 5 games of his career. And they're both 3rd round picks.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm spoiled by Michael Gallup's first year. Maybe.
Sure.
But when I look at Tolbert's first 2 years, it doesn't hold a candle.
It doesn't hold water.
What
Yeah,
Michael
no, it
Gallup
doesn't.
brought.
It doesn't. And
I
his
agree
rookie
with
season
that.
was a complete bust. I give you that. His rookie season was an absolute bust. But just depending on what happens with this offense, I don't know. I haven't given up on Jalen Tolbert because I know with receiver, sometimes it takes a minute. Sometimes it takes him a second. It does. It's not like running back. It's not like playing a lot of other positions. Sometimes it takes some time. Has it taken him a little longer than it should? Hey, you got me there. But I still think that he can be, the 3rd receiver or the 4th receiver on this team with confidence. I would trust him in some situations because he showed me last season that he could. I don't need him to be 1,000-yard guy. I have CD for that. And the fact is, I really want another receiver. I don't want to just stick with what we have because I'm not completely impressed with Brandon Cooks. I'm not super, and we already lost Michael Gallup. He's already been cut. So it's basically
Right.
Cooks, CD, Tolbert, and everybody else that's basically lined up with him or behind him. We need an upgrade at receiver. I won't disagree with you there, but I haven't given up faith that Tolbert can take more steps in becoming a better pro.
Here's my last point with Tolbert. This was Dak's guy. This is the guy Dak wanted them to draft.
That is true.
Dak was in communication with Tolbert even before he got drafted. Dak called him the day he did get drafted. So there was connection there. He goes to the Dak field, and they still can't get a connection there. Sometimes you just got to take your woes and go home. And I think Tolbert, with that relationship with Dak, even before he was an NFL player till now, and it hasn't came to, I don't think it will ever will. I'll be shocked if he gets another 280 yards this next year.
Really? Wow. Yeah.
I'll be shocked.
Yeah, because right now, man, it's so many holes on the team, man. I guess that's why, a lot of us, I'm talking about myself. I'm not feeling confident right now.
Jalen Brooks, that's the guy right there. Jalen Brooks, our 7th round draft pick. That guy right there, if you've seen him in person, which I think y'all have, that's the guy right there.
But they wouldn't let him. They wouldn't put him on the field, bro.
Yeah,
That's fine. You have a hidden gem. Trust me. I have more faith in Brooks than I do Tolbert.
I don't hate it. I mean, but he just didn't get the opportunities, like Chris said. I never really saw him. It was just
because didn't he play against Arizona? Wasn't he on the field in Arizona? I think it was the early part of the season when they put him on the field, and we were like, okay, and they were talking him up, and then next thing you know, he was inactive or playing special teams, and now I never understood it. I was like, if we got that gym, how come we're not shining him up, put him on the damn field? Like, just my opinion.
When you got Turpin, you got Cooks coming along, you got CeeDee Lamb doing what CeeDee Lamb does. You can stash a guy like Brooks, and he'll come in. I'm telling you, Brooks will be your number 3 wide receiver.
Okay. All right. Well, we will find out. We'll say, man, thanks y'all, man. Hey, man, it's an awesome show as usual. Thanks for all our people that jumped in the chats, man. Always thanks, Ivan. Thanks, Cowboy Babe. She was jumped in. John Carter, man, appreciate you jumping in. Danny, the Giants fans even stopped in. Cowboy Babe stopped in. Everything, man. We appreciate everybody, man. Mike, I always tell them how they follow you, brother.
Yeah, big shout out to I Love Weed. He's in the comment section. Big follower of mine. Shout out to I Love Weed. And a WWE guy show. But no, _ Cowboys Corner on Twitter. If you're sensitive, don't follow me. I tell it how it is. An official Cowboys Corner right here on the tubes. And you can find me on Saturday on the corner of Crazy and Cowboys when we talk crazy there every Saturday. If the credentials is be a Cowboys fan, click the link. Come on in and let's talk ball.
Hey, and if y'all hadn't seen that show, Talking Crazy, hey, you think what went on today was crazy? No. Check out Mike's show. It is wonderful, man. I love it, man. I told I get a kick. I told Corner, I say, man, one guy almost drew me outside. I was trying to hurry up, get to the house to get to the computer because he pissed me off so much. But it is the name of the show is perfect, man. But hey, man, once again, hey, man, if you guys are in here, please like and subscribe to the Cowboy Podcast.
Subscribe, guys.
We appreciate the followers for Cowboy Corner coming over today, man, and joining us. And if you don't follow the Cowboy Podcast, please follow us. Also, you can find Rue on TikTok on the Allow Me to Butt In Sports. Also, Rue, what's your Instagram?
Allow Me to Butt In Sports.
All right. So, and of course you can find me on hey Mike, I'm working on, I think I tagged the right people that's on X. So you can find me at Stop 6 Chris on X, on TikTok, always Dallas Cowboys Chris, and also on Instagram, Dallas Cowboy Chris 87. So man, thanks again. We appreciate y'all.
Thanks for having me.
Tuning in. Hey man, Mike, man, I appreciate you filling in for us, brother. Okay. So we will see y'all next week. Peace.
This is what we're doing now. We're just gonna make stuff up. We're just gonna be off the cuff. It's just gonna be wild. And this is crazy because y'all are Cowboys fans, from what I understand. And what's even wilder is y'all gave it like the hard pause. Like y'all gave it like the, oh man, he about to say something profound. Like he's gonna drop the mic. He's gonna give us the knowledge of the Cowboys' first round draft selection history.
Send this to a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Is it true? Is it true? Is it true that the Cowboys have the best fans? Yes, sir.
I trip out on it. Because I'm swimming in it. I wear this jersey every first game. It's my favorite jersey.
Drop some bars to my pussy.
Came from El Paso.
Go Cowboys!